your opinion of Dr. Stephen Greer? Some of the stuff he says and alludes to seems to have some credibility, but it seems like in recent years he's really trying to get people to buy his movies and pay for his whatever he calls it, his experiences, where he telepathically communicates allegedly with these ETs.
Well, I try, I don't like bad mouthing other people. I will say there's a very well-known video on my channel that has made the rounds where myself and Bill Ryan at the time were invited to sort of chair a panel discussion. And in the process, at this conference that took place in Barcelona, the Exopolitics conference, and Greer was there, and so was one of our whistleblowers, Henry Deacon, who came out under his own name, Arthur Neumann. And that's when I went on stage with Arthur Neumann, and he announced he had been working on Mars after Bob Dean had done a whole presentation about the secret space program and how we had bases on the moon and Mars and so on. So Stephen Greer, we went behind the stage, we were doing interviews, and Stephen Greer we had been talking to him about doing an interview, but basically I didn't want to do the interview, but Bill did. And I knew it would be contentious because I knew that we didn't agree with a lot of things he said. He was saying things like, all ETs are friendly. He still says that. I mean, in my world, as far as I'm concerned, knowing the negative Draco and reptilians that are here, and also mirrored in some of the reptilian aspects of the various Nazi type individuals, like the whole family of Bushes, that their DNA is in humans. All right, so basically, Stephen Greer wants to tell people that all ETs are friendly, meaning that you can just send your kids out to meet the ETs and they'll be so friendly and they won't abduct them or eat them or use them as sexual slaves, etc., which is not true. So that's very dangerous for humans, and I disagree with him very seriously on that. And he also wants you to think that he is the one who is informing the CIA of what's what with aliens, when in fact, it's quite the reverse. And he has a tremendous ego. So the trouble with that is that he doesn't understand when he's being played. And so that's, his own difficulty with understanding how the intelligence services work. Now, with all that said, let me say that he is dealing with ETs, and he is also dealing with negative ETs a lot. So he's dealing with grays and the lower level ETs primarily, like reptilians and mantids and so on. So what can I tell you? He's seducing people to go out and to let their guard down and interact with ETs that may not be having their best interests in mind. So that's why it's a problem. And I think he genuinely believes what he believes. I don't necessarily think he wants to mislead the public, but unfortunately he is doing so because he is misled. So for that, you can kind of put it like that.
And the one thing that I also found unusual is with all these cattle mutilations, how can he say that that's all just the government and alien abduction is just the government trying to trick us, when it just seems like a lot of work to have these cattle mutilations all over the world just to simply try and trick humans into thinking ETs exist? I don't know.
There's no way humans are able to, sort of swoop down, take a cow up, drain them of blood that quickly and put them back on the ground and, be discovered in record time. This technology, at least up to now, hasn't existed in our secret space program. I can say that the secret space program is working with Greys and has been since the days of Eisenhower, who unfortunately made some deals with the Greys. Among those deals was a limit, supposedly, on the number of humans they could abduct and eat, kill, do whatever genetic engineering they wanted to, use them as, baby sort of places where, the baby could incubate, etc. No, it's like so. It's just diabolical to think that the secret space program has nothing better to do than, with all their secrecy already, to also plant these things out there. The reason they're being abducted and the blood drain is because these beings live on blood and organs, not only of cattle but also of humans. So it's a diabolical story for sure.